Do you need to wear a mask? Do you need to walk around outside with your nose and mouth completely covered? Well, some say yes and some say no. Some say that the pandemic is a serious matter while others dismiss it as a conspiracy. A lot of people are divided into this topic, and that includes Christians. I read a Facebook post that talks about wearing a mask. It received a lot of anti and pro mask comments. While the topic can be confusing at times, one thing is for sure: it is causing the division in churches, friends, and groups. So we want to know, should a Christian need to wear a mask or not? Well, to answer this question, we must look at both sides of the argument. The number one Bible passage used to support the need to wear a mask is found in Romans 13, where it talks about being subject to the governing authorities. We read in Romans 13, 1 to 2 and verse 5. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authority resists the ordinance of God, and those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. Therefore, you must be subject not only because of wrath, but also for conscience sake. As you can see, the Bible advocates obedience to the government. However, this does not mean that you have to blindly obey the government. The key here is that if the laws and rules set by the government do not cause you to disobey God, then by all means, follow it. If you are given a choice between following God and following men, then you should always follow God. In the Bible, we have read a lot of accounts in where the servants of God have disobeyed the government. An example would be Daniel and his three friends. We have the midwives in Egypt who didn't kill the Hebrew babies. Also, the wise men refused to obey King Herod. So, does wearing a mask cause you to disobey God? This is a tricky question to answer. While others may not have issues wearing a mask, some Christians do. For these Christians, they say that they would rather put their trust in God and accept His divine protection. Since some believe that the pandemic is part of a greater plan of taking over the world, others refuse to submit and be subject to any restrictions related to COVID-19. As you can see, the decision to wear a mask can easily become a complicated matter. So, where do we stand as Christians? Should we wear a mask or not? Well, I can't answer this question for you. You have to make your own decision. If wearing a mask violates your conscience, then don't wear a mask. If it doesn't, then wear a mask. I believe what's important here is to have our attitude checked. For most Christians, it is so easy to judge one another solely because of their decision in regards to masks. People who are for masks would call anti-maskers as disobedient. On the other hand, anti-maskers would call others as people who lack faith or being subject to conspiracies. The least that we should do is not to be divisive. In a world deceived and ruled by Satan, it is difficult to know the truth in this pandemic. Whether the pandemic is truly as deadly as the experts tell us, most of us can never know for sure as we don't have first-hand information. The differing opinions can cause a rift between us Christians and wreak havoc in our relationship with each other. When this happens, we are actually making Satan happy and we have become a tool in his hands. Satan would sometimes use our personal opinions and feelings to destroy our relationships with others. One thing is for sure: if we continue to judge and condemn one another based on whether they wear a mask or not, we will not be endeavoring the unity of the church. So my sincerest prayer is that we stop quarreling over matters that are not salvation issues. If others decide to wear a mask, then let them be. If they don't wear a mask, then that's their decision. We can only see on the surface, but we can't see a person's heart. Simply do your part. Do your best in loving one another, bearing with one another, and caring for one another. Let us rise above the political and conspiracy theories, and let's focus on the work Christ has put in front of us. Do your part and leave the judgment to God. Alright, that's it for me, and I hope that you learned something from our video today. And please don't forget to grab a free copy of my ebook, The 7 Powerful Habits of Highly Effective Christians. You can find the link below. With that said, I pray that the Almighty blesses you and guides you to all truths. I'm Joshua Infantado of Becoming Christians. See you next time.